Well, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Ben Dialba, and I am an advisor to Commissioner Patty Monahan, who we heard from earlier this morning. I've got the great pleasure to summarize the discussion up until this point. We had a wonderful workshop with lots of great speakers and panelists, and I just want to thank everybody who's participated in the morning and early afternoon sessions and all the staff that worked hard to make this forum a reality. So, with that said, early in the morning, we heard from Tyson Eckerly of the Governor's Office of Business and Economic Development. He gave us a great presentation on California's zero-emission vehicle market strategy. His agency is leading the implementation of that strategy, which is important because it lays out some key pillars for both the public and private sectors to embrace in order to scale up the ZEV market in California. His agency is going to be working hard to ensure mostly that the state government is coordinated as we move forward with our programs and investments to really bring scale to the market here in California. And then we rolled into our first panel discussion, and we heard from leaders from various state agencies who are playing key role in the state's transition to zero-emission vehicles. We had the Air Resources Board Chair Leanne Randolph, and followed by Commissioner Patty Monahan of the Energy Commission and Commissioner Clef Rechtschaffen from the California Public Utilities Commission. We heard from Chair Randolph that now, she emphasized that now is the time for electrification. Her agency is focused on regulation and incentives to accelerate the deployment of zero-emission vehicles, particularly for this conversation, medium and heavy-duty vehicles. She touched on the recent adoption of her board's Advanced Clean Trucks Rule and the developing regulation, the Advanced Clean Fleet Rule, which are going to play important roles in the state's transition. Commissioner Monahan highlighted that accelerating the ZEV market will bring benefits to everyone, especially communities of color, which are currently disproportionately impacted by diesel emissions from medium and heavy-duty vehicles. She said the Energy Commission's Clean Transportation Program is investing about $100 million a year in ZEV infrastructure deployment, which has a growing emphasis on medium and heavy-duty infrastructure for both fuel cell and battery electric trucks and buses. Commissioner Rechtschaffen at the PUC told us that his agency regulates the state's investor-owned utilities and has authorized over $1.5 billion in investments from those utilities for zero-emission vehicle infrastructure. He said about half of that investment will go toward medium and heavy-duty vehicles. And overall, the panel, the three, including Tyson, emphasized the governor's budget. Governor Gavin Newsom has a proposal that would invest over $3 billion over the next 2 years to really accelerate the adoption of zero-emission vehicles through incentives and infrastructure deployment. And we also heard another key theme that equity needs to be a part of every decision in the state's ZEV strategy, and there are efforts in place that are looking to define what that means and how to best go about doing that. The second panel in the morning, we heard from panelists across the Energy Commission, the Air Resources Board, the Public Utilities Commission, the California Electric Transportation Coalition, the California Fuel Cell Partnership, and Southern California Edison. It was a little bit more in-depth conversation from the leaders in the first panel. One theme we heard in this panel was that planning is crucial to the adoption of zero-emission vehicles. And planning is certainly taking place across the state. We heard that the Energy Commission and the Air Resources Board are both pursuing regular modeling exercises that inform the state's need to move towards zero-emission infrastructure. Southern California Edison told us that they have a roadmap for EV adoption, and so the planning is taking place. Furthermore, we also heard that there's still a lot of work to be done, especially around vehicle grid integration and how to better utilize excess renewable energy throughout the day. The PUC has permitted some vehicle grid integration projects, and the Energy Commission has invested in school buses that are VGI capable. So we're going to learn more over the years as those projects come about. And then finally, the third panel that we just all heard consisted of an academia and some moderator, some wonderful folks from the industry. And quickly, we heard that battery costs are falling, which are going to have some positive implications on the economics of electric, medium, and heavy-duty vehicles. We heard a really important conversation about how to address the small fleet operators, and this is important because there are more small operators than there are large. We heard the need to have more ubiquitous charging throughout the state, perhaps some commercial parking that offers charging for these small operators, innovative financing to help the small fleets get into zero-emission vehicles, the importance of having a robust hydrogen fueling network across the state, and we heard the call for funders to help these small operators apply for funding assistance. And of course, finally, we heard the need to emphasize the importance of software and help manage the charging that is going to be taking place across the state with these large vehicles. And finally, I want to remind everybody to please join us a little later this afternoon for a special evening session, evening community session, which is scheduled to start at 5:30. Thank you very much.